Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're gonna have ourselves a 1v1 on Kholodny Ferma. Our heroes today are going to be Mr. SturmTigerFrost, playing as the Soviet forces in the blue. And his opponent is going to be Mr. KN Barbarossa, playing as the OKW forces in the red. Not sure what they're talking about, but something about a drop hack. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, back on the new patch. Still sick, but we're gonna keep on trucking. Push on through, and yeah, so we're gonna see the OKW once again in play. OKW receiving a overhaul in the latest patch that happened on the 3rd of December, and well, hopefully we'll see some new stuff around them. There's also this commander right here, the Overwatch Doctrine. I don't know if he's gonna be using it this game, but it is the one, as you can see there, that gives the Goliath and other sort of things. It is very munitions heavy, so who knows, but if you are from back in original Company Heroes, you do remember the Goliaths and their abilities to basically win games. More powerful minds and good counter against blobbing, really. But, well, we'll see what happens in this game. So anyway, so far we got Mr. Barbarossa getting Volks, and Volks have received a buff in the recent patch. They do more damage now. You know, slightly, not a lot, obviously, but they are better. And I have been hearing some complaints about it, so we'll see what happens. So anyways, we see SturmTigerFrost building, or starting off with tier 2, getting himself 2 conscripts and then calling in a maxi machine gun. It's an interesting opening. We don't see that too often, but it's pretty solid, and considering then what's being built over here? Oh, wire getting built up in the north there for Mr. Frost. Considering that Volks Grenadiers are quite popular, to say the least, right now, because of their buff. Yeah, getting a machine gun out onto the field quickly is a good way to stop the advances of them. So anyways, up in the front, though, we do see the maxi machine gun failing horribly as the storm piles pop into the house and deny the territory. Then we see my computer lagging quite a bit there. Not sure why it did that, but, well, c'est la vie. And over here by the church, we have been seeing disengagement, prolonged as it is, just keeps on going, and, yeah. So, double Volksgrens getting onto the truck, the conscripts inside the church evacuating as they do lose one of their members, and they're going to lose the engagement in the long run, but, you know, at least they're going to be there for a while. They do Ura up into the north as the Storm Pios are nearby. Storm Pios managing to inflict more casualties and close the distance. Cover-to-cover engagement, however, with the STG rifles on them, they're going to be ripping the conscripts to shreds. Down to 1 man on the retreat, barely makes it out of there. Maxi machine gun trying to set up to stop them. However, with the heavy cover, they are unable to get suppressed, and with Volks Grenadiers coming up on the flank, SturmTigerFrost is now in a very difficult position. Combat engineers and conscripts up in the north engaging. Volksgrens moving up to engage the combat engineers. These guys are going to die if they don't get the hell out of there. They're going to be moving back and trying to delay while getting inside that house. However, they are down to 2 men. They could potentially pop out and move through the edge and try to get away that way. Maxi machine gun does manage to... No, actually it didn't do anything there. It was the conscripts that managed to force the storm pios away. And the combat engineers did in fact do what I said. They moved up to the north and then retreated through the other side of that wall, allowing them to get a safer retreat path and keep themselves alive. Volks Grenadiers inside the house are taking some shots at the maxi machine gun, bringing it down to 2 men, forcing it to retreat. Maxi machine gun returns fire, doing some damage to the squad, down to 3 men, but it is still alive and kicking. Second squad coming up to replace them. Up in the back, we do have the SW supply half-track now on the field. Keep in mind, though, that these trucks are not free anymore. You do have to requisition them, and they cost fuel. So if you see them on the field, it definitely means that something is going to get built, in which case it's the battle group headquarters. So that change I do agree with. I mean, it was kind of fun, quote-unquote, having, you know, those trucks come in for free and not cost you anything and make the build. But, you know, it did obviously end up causing a lot of issues where you have the truck pushing. Hell, you even had truck crushing back in the day when it first started. So if they had made that change, you know, to begin with, they would have actually you know, got rid of all those things. Hell, the trucks could have even still been left to be able to crush. Would be annoying, but I mean, you are risking fuel and tech while doing so, so not a lot of players would be sacrificing their trucks that freely. But yeah, we'll see. So up in the north, we do have a Volksgrenadier squad hold up inside the shack, engaging the conscripts. The conscripts do capture the munitions point, and the Volksgrens are forced to retreat down to 2 men. They're going to take some shots there on the retreat. May lose one of their members, but they're going to make it out of there just fine. Yeah, not even losing another one, and the conscripts retreat as well. Back at base, we do have an AT gun getting built for Mr. SturmTigerFrost, as he has... Wow, what was I trying to say? As he has... he has selected his doctrine, and that is the Soviet industry tactics. Interesting. An interesting decision. We don't see this too often in 1v1, so it is powerful, you know, and well, at least it was quite popular in the team games, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So usually, by getting this doctrine, it means that you want to go, you know, vehicles very quickly. Barbarossa, though, has selected his doctrine, and that is instead the Scavenge doctrine, so we're not going to be seeing the new doctrine in play just yet. I'm not even sure we're going to be able to catch it in play anytime soon, because, like I said, from first glance, it doesn't seem to be a very strong doctrine in the 1v1s. It seems to be okay for team games, but, you know, considering that I like to focus more on the 1v1 style of play rather than the cluster fuck that is team games. Yeah, it's probably going to be a little while before we see it. Down south, we have conscripts moving around. Volksgrenadiers also trying to position themselves to fight. They are going to be covering the victory point as they as it's being taken here by the conscripts. We do have a second conscript squad ready for the flank, but with another Volksgrenadier squad moving down south, the flank is not going to happen. Up in the north, we see a combat engineer squad down to 1 man, forced to retreat. We do have some mines, defensive mines laid down there for SturmTigerFrost. Incendiary grenade getting tossed there on top of the conscripts. Volksgrenadiers equipped with Shreks, and the conscripts down to 6 men. I mean, not down to 6 men. Still at 6 men, but down to very low amounts of health. Pretty lucky to still be alive. We do have medics back at base, so if he leaves them there long enough, they will be able to stay alive. Down south, the Volksgrenadiers do win the engagement against the conscripts because they now do, basically, with the changes. Volksgrenadiers are far superior, essentially. And the Volks down south, yeah, they only took 1 loss and forced the retreat of the entire squad. They were in cover, of course, but still, it's significant. And these Volks up in the north managing to close the deal. Also, with the battle group headquarters, we see Barbarossa getting himself the forward retreat spot. Not entirely needed. I would probably skip this if I were him in this situation, but it's still not a bad thing. But considering how close he actually is to his base, I mean, it's not really that far of a walk, but it's also pretty good to have it there, so makes it a lot easier to defend this cutoff point and such. Ooh, excuse me. Like I said, still a little bit sick. Second truck now in the field for Barbarossa. He's going to be setting up as a Schwerpanzer headquarters. So now this makes a little bit more sense with the retreat spot, because this is a very, very defensible position with the Schwerpanzer headquarters set up. The flak gun defending the entire sector, making sure that fuel is still in his possession. So it's not that bad. Not that bad at all. Up in the north, Volksgrens capturing the fuel. We have more infantry hold up. These guys have sweepers, although they turned off their sweepers to try to provide as much firepower as they can. Conscripts moving up, so Frost sticking with only 3 conscripts. He does have a lot of, not a lot, I mean, he doesn't have a lot of forces right now in the field, but he doesn't really need to. Barbarossa is also utilizing this time to tech, and I mean, it's really a 4-on-4 engagement. I mean, SturmTigerFrost really just has one of them being a max machine gun, whereas Barbarossa has 4 Volks, so, you know, not that bad. The AT gun is defensive, like I said, with the Soviets. Even though, yeah, it's kind of a waste, the AT gun is still okay, because you could potentially use that artillery barrage and score some infantry kills, at the very least. Barbarossa now with his Schwerpanzer headquarters online, getting a Obersoldaten squad. We do see a allied supply drop getting called in. There was some changes made to the to how every type of redistribute resource actually comes into play, and most of them, I believe, are now this, where you essentially drop resources to just pick them up and get them, rather than switching, you know, like income, like the generation of it, basically. So with that, of course, SturmTigerFrost is able to spend munitions and get himself some fuel. which he is going to be requiring to fuel his vehicles that he wants to get and get quickly because of his Doctrine. Center map engagement, combat engineers with one man still left inside that church. Conscripts coming up for the flank, flamethrowers going off, but with the battle group headquarters right here, it is a very difficult cookie to crack there, as it's, yeah, I mean, it's almost impossible with what currently is in SturmTigerFrost's possession. A well-placed maximum machine gun there that could basically pin everything, could potentially do a lot of damage while other stuff, you know, gets on top of it, but we do see SturmTigerFrost going for the natural and pretty good decision there of getting himself a mortar. A mortar is actually going to be great, considering he knows that the emplacement is right there. That is going to break this defensive position and cause a lot of damage. The the T-70 is on the field for SturmTigerFrost, getting one rather quickly as far as production time goes with his Doctrine. Combat Engineer Squad inside the church, though, is going to go down. There's a lot of infantry there, and nobody's really watching out for them. So down it goes. We do have a lot of Volksgrenadiers with Shreks for Barbarossa, so that T-70 is really unable to do too much. We do have the AT gun looking at the church, however, the hedge is not allowing it to be seen. Could potentially throw an artillery barrage in there and maybe kill some units inside, but probably not clear it out, so maybe not even worth it. A lot of troops moving up to the north. You could almost call it a blob, but they are spreading out, so, you know, they're just going in the same direction, but not doing the same thing. Jaeger light infantry also coming into play for Barbarossa, so a lot of infantry potential here, a lot of infantry power. Maxim machine gun not being utilized in the main engagement, currently being utilized in the south to cap. We do have a second Maxim machine gun, however, on the field, currently in the center house, so this one is more defensive. Mortar now on the field, set up here out in the road. Volksgrenadier squad coming up behind him, throws a batch of grenades, going to be detonating that mine, I think. No, the mine actually stays alive. Manages to dodge that quite successfully. Those are, of course, the infiltration grenades, as they are so called. Those are very cheap, only 15 munitions, so it's not a big deal if they miss, and they do have that amount of damage, so it's pretty good. T-70 moving up once again, taking some shots. Combat engineers on the field now to repair. These are new combat engineers, as we saw, of course. The other squad die inside the church. And up in the north, conscripts are going to try to fight, but they're going to lose because there's just too much infantry. Down south, Maxim machine guns being utilized to cap the Panzer headquarters, in range to defend the point, but not in sight range, I suppose. And the munitions point in the south is going to be taken there for Frost. And the conscripts up in the north just keep getting shot in the face here. They do have the heavy cover, which is not bad, and the mortar is providing some support, taking some shots there up to the north. So the Jaeger light infantry is forced to back off, so it's now heavy cover to light cover, which does give the conscripts a distinct advantage there. The T-70 will be brought up. We'll be able to provide some shots there. There's a lot of clumped up infantry, so could potentially get a good shot in there. However, it misses its shots, and it's unable to really do too much. Still taking some shots there behind the cover, missing everything, and the conscripts still in heavy cover, although I don't think that's... Well, it actually still says heavy cover, so even though the logs have been kind of destroyed, they're still there. So more fuel getting spent. I mean, not fuel, more munitions getting spent there for Frost, converting it into some more fuel, seeing if he can get himself something heavier. Grenade barrage going off inside the house, not doing too much, as the Maxim machine gun has had its units kind of spread out. And did he target it? No, looked kind of weird, but okay. So anyways, yeah, the troops are back here. The fuel is there, and I mean, he could get, I suppose, the Su-76. Hasn't teched quite yet, so we'll see what happens. Again, really why the Doctrine isn't used a lot in not single player, 1v1. Down south, SturmPios and Volksgrenadiers going to be engaging at close range. The SturmPios disengage the sweepers, bringing back the weapon, but with Obersoldat and Volksgrens and just a lot of infantry down south, these troops just have to get the hell out of the way. There's really not much that they can do to oppose it. Up in the north, however, the conscripts do manage to go for the victory point and the munitions point with the combat engineers. We do have a 456 to 376 victory point count currently in the favor of Frost. So even though Barbarossa looks pretty strong with his troops and unbreakable in his control, he is, you know, being outmaneuvered, I suppose. Jaeger light infantry Volksgrenadiers moving up to the north. Combat engineers going to be holed up inside the shack, while the conscripts have set up some cover in the sandbags. T-70 moving around in the center as conscripts move back with the Maxim machine gun as well, covering the approach. And the Volksgrenadiers and everything just move back. Whole bunch of Soldaten moving back into the center. As the mortar is just taking some pot shots. Double mortars now on the field for SturmTigerFrost. Very aggressive, very interesting, but could potentially work. Jaeger light infantry Volksgrens engaging at long range against the conscripts. The conscripts do have the heavy cover against the light cover here, but again, it's more numbers here against those conscripts, so they will eventually lose unless something else is brought in to tip the balance. Second AT gun on the field for Frost. He seems to be expecting some type of heavier play, and of course with the Schwerpanzer headquarters there is a significant how would I say selection of vehicles. He has his Panzer IV, his Panther, the Yak Panzer. But of course, Barbarossa decides to go for the doctrinal call-in, and that is the Flak Panzer Ostwind. Which is a pretty good decision considering the amount of infantry. The AT guns can take it out quite quickly, but if it works around on the edges like it is now, that Ostwind could potentially go for the kill right now in this conscript squad. Conscript squad needs to retreat in the path of the infantry, through the path of the Ostwind, so... Well, one conscript squad already went down, and I missed that. Let me see if I know that. Con at 16. And then we see the other conscript squad dying as we expected because, well, that's what happened there. We also saw the Allied supply drop getting shot down by the Ostwind. Not sure if anything got picked up there. We can see the plane actually crashing into the base. But, yeah, that was pretty bad. And the Raketenwerfer being forced to retreat from the center as it was kind of out of position there. Up in the north, the T-70 has done some damage. 12 kills so far. Veteran Z2 acquired, which is pretty good for a T-70. Is currently damaged, though. Very low in health. At about 25%, but it is alive. That gives Frost a little bit of a breathing room. However, he did lose 2 of his conscript squads in quick succession. I'm assuming it was the squad up here in the north that died. I mean, I'm not even going to speculate now, since I'm just going to look it up and you can see when it died. But yeah, that's the thing. So Ostwind moving aggressively up to the north, catching the conscript squad out in the open, forcing it to retreat rather quickly, taking some damage, losing one of its members, but otherwise fine. Stormpile's also getting in the way, taking some shots at them, doing some additional health damage, but it looks like the squad is not going to lose any additional members. T-70 moving up. T-70 very exposed. We do see the KV-8 getting called in by SturmTigerFrost. That is, of course, the other options, or, well, not options, but abilities of the Doctrine. It's not just the ability to build vehicles fast. It does give you access to the KV-8 and, of course, the KV-2, which is a siege tank, essentially. So the T-70 does go down to the Ostwind. The Ostwind managing to execute it rather quickly because, well, it's an Ostwind. KV-8 with its flamethrowers is forcing everything to retreat. The Ostwind trying as best as can to do, well, the best that it can. However, everybody is forced to retreat back to the battle group headquarters. Everybody a nice little clump here for the KV-8. The KV-8 is going to be going on a rampage here. Everybody forced to retreat as the battle group headquarters disengages its ability to reinforce. And the KV-8 is just on the hunt now. Also been getting some shots, getting some damage in there on the KV-8. Not really going to matter too much. We do see the Volksgrenadier squad getting burned to a crisp, going down. Volksgrenadiers with Shreks moving up, getting some damage here on the KV-8. The KV-8 suffering less than half health damage, so they move out of the way. And the AT guns up in the north, a little bit too aggressive, but now they back off and they should be fine. So not a lot of damage as it could have been for that KV-8. I mean, it did get 9 infantry kills, which is fine, but it did manage to score itself a kill on a Volksgrenadier squad. We do see another one getting called in for Barbarossa, making sure that his unit count is always up there. But yeah, at least he managed to inflict some damage, remove some veterancy, and put the fear of God, or the fear of KV-8, into Barbarossa. So you best believe there's a KV-8 on the field, because there is one. Maxim machine gun up in the north, not capturing the point. A little bit out of position, but it should be fine. More Allied supply drops getting called in. And more allied supply drops getting crushed by the Ostwind. So again, I don't believe that it got in there, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I mean, SturmTigerFrost is just basically spending his munitions without getting anything back, because that Ostwind is just able to knock them all down out of the sky. And of course, with the addition of these things, they kind of do that. We can see there that actually has a vehicle destroyed, so that has the other one. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that you can't select from where the vehicle comes in, right? Mortar shots into the battle group headquarters. Massive infantry forces flooding straight to the center. The church seems to be wanting to collapse here. KV-8 going to be rushing forward. Still damaged, not fully reinforced or repaired, but Shrek's flying in its face, not doing too much. The flamethrower going off, not actually having an animation here for us. But there we go, the flamethrower once again kicking in. Flame damage doing its thing, and the mortar's also just having a hell of a time. We see this mortar, only 2 kills with veterancy to acquired, and this one has gotten 1 kill with no veterancy. But they're doing so much damage at range that they're just having a hell of a time. See, this guy already got veterancy 1. But the mortars are forced to retreat. AT guns are set up back there, making sure that the Ostwind can't just simply push forward and hunt down their infantry. The KBA now back, severely damaged, going to be forced to get reinforced. And of course, we do have all 3 buildings for Barbarossa, so his move might be for the King Tiger. We'll see what ends up happening. Doesn't seem like it shows it here, though, because it's supposed to be some type of ability, right? Like on the bar up over here, but anyways. AT guns popping their artillery barrage. May as well do that, as that is probably the best use of the munitions here for Frost, as his supply drops are just getting shut down very quickly. And we see yet another Maxim machine gun getting called in. Up in the north, the Maxim machine gun forces away the Volksgrenadier squad, managing to hold the point. Victory points are 456 to 320. Still in the lead for Frost. So Frost doing a very, very good job at holding. KV-8 almost back to full strength at about 90%, you know, at worst there. Maxim machine gun in the center, catching those Volksgrens, forcing them to retreat. The KV-8 now pushing forward. Kholodny Ferma is on the field there, manages to take a shot and miss completely. It whiffs and hits the cart in front of it. Way to go, guys. Way to go. And everybody now clumped again with the battle group headquarters up in the north. The Ostwind pushes away the Maxim machine gun. Maxim machine gun sprinting out of the way, not actually retreating, making sure that the flank is not completely abandoned. The AT gun's moving up, trying to oppose, but not really able to do too much. And the KV-8 still getting repaired. Not doing too well, as it has taken some damage here. Looks like to the Raketa Warfare. The Raketa Warfare is currently suppressed, as it takes some shots from the Maxim machine gun, but we can move back. And the conscripts in the center getting assaulted there by the Ostwind. Going to be taking some damage, but yeah, they'll be fine. So everybody backing off. A nice little clump of infantry there. If the mortars would target, that would be amazing. We do see a flare getting popped. Who actually popped that flare? It could have been a triggered flare, but we'll see. But back at the Warfare getting targeted here by the mortars, taking significant amounts of damage. Now being forced to retreat, going to be backing off into the battle group headquarters, as the shots continue to land into where it was. Up in the north, Volksgrenadier squad going for the victory point. Maxim machine guns still hold up inside the shack. Ostwind still harassing that one. AT guns moving up to the north. Not going to be able to get any shots, but defending the sector in case. And yeah. So yeah, I was saying Barbarossa might be going for the Tiger because he does have the Mechanized Regiment headquarters. There we go. That's because that's why I said he might be going for that, because he is. So there we go. The Königstiger, the King Tiger, now on the field for Barbarossa. Is there anything that SturmTigerFrost can do against it? Well, he does have 2 AT guns, but that's about it. His KV-8, I mean, I suppose could absorb some shots, but that's about it. His main gun has no chance in hell of penetrating. So Barbarossa going to be pushing straight through the center with that King Tiger. The AT guns are currently up in the north, looking at the Ostwind. The Ostwind taking some damage, but managing to get out of there alive. King Tiger moves up, takes a shot. Down goes some members of the Maxim machine gun. Maxim machine gun taking some shots at the tank as it wants to maybe kill the members inside, but not going to be able to do so, as it is, of course, a tank. And the Maxim machine gun will be going down here, as the coaxial guns and the gun on top is just going to be enough to crush it. Does hit retreat, trying to get out of there, but I believe it'll be going down. Mortars now getting flanked there. The Maxim machine gun goes down a little bit on the retreat. The AT gun's getting caught way out of position here by the bulk of the infantry for Barbarossa. Nice flanking maneuver here as the AT gun goes down. Well, it doesn't actually go down. It's still there. The KVA now moving up, trying to catch all of these infantry on the retreat. The King Tiger going around for the flank manages to force the retreat of the mortars. The KVA now going to be moving back as the King Tiger runs itself into... Oh, just an AT grenade from the conscripts. The conscripts managing to inflict damage on the engine, snaring and slowing down the King Tiger. The AT guns unable to do too much as they get shot down here by the King Tiger. King Tiger now at about half health, taking more shots there at the conscripts as the conscripts move across. The KV-8 still getting repaired up in the north as the King Tiger is currently crawling its way back, seemingly wanting to get some repairs. KV-8 still alive. The Ostwind potentially here going to be able to get itself a kill on the KV-8. KV-8 switching to its main gun, unable to really penetrate the armor of the Ostwind, and the Ostwind manages to get a good shot straight through the front, piercing the armor, and down goes the KV-8. KV-2 getting called onto the field for Frost. Can the KV-2 do anything against the King Tiger? I don't know. I mean, it's more of an artillery gun, and I'm assuming it can do damage, but it's not exactly designed against it. Maxim machine gun up in the north for Frost, getting Ostwind to death. Down it goes. And Frost is falling apart here, not really being able to do too much. Still have a lot of infantry on the field here for SturmTigerFrost. The KV-2 moving up, shots flying, doing some splash damage. But that's about it. Volksgrenadier is going to be moving up and getting some Shreks going, getting some damage going on that tank. The KV-2 gets a shot. Nice shot there on that Volksgrenadier squad, but not doing too much damage. Not as nearly as much damage as it would have hoped. Ostwind once again getting a flank going on the AT gun. The AT gun going to be taken out here. Well, didn't get taken out by the Ostwind, but we do have the grenades flying at it, and down it goes. SturmTigerFrost still trying to hold on. The KV-2 going to be taking some shots at the Ostwind. The Ostwind going to dodge it. Oh, never mind. A very nice shot there by the KV-2. Takes out the Ostwind. The Ostwind now out of action. However, Barbarossa instantly calling in another one to replace it, and his King Tiger is now back to full strength with the help of the Storm Pios and the automated repairs. Now rushing forward. SturmTigerFrost has no AT guns. The AT guns are still there in the center of the map. Nobody has claimed them. There's another one up in the north. But yeah, that KV-2 doesn't really have much that it can do. It has set up to have range, essentially, although it doesn't seem to have view range. Turning itself around. Ooh, that shot could have been amazing. Could have potentially been game turning, but it did not happen. The King Tiger pushing forward. The Ostwind pushing as well. Shots flying from the KV-2. The KV-2 currently stationary. Not going to be able to do too much. Shots flying at the Raketenwerfer. The King Tiger now getting a shot on the side. In comes the blob of infantry for Barbarossa. One volley should do it. There goes the volley. There goes the hit. Main gun destroyed. More shots fly. Still alive, but doesn't really matter at this stage. SturmTigerFrost getting crushed by the King Tiger and all its infantry. And the KV-2 crawls its way back to base. Infantry retreating from the north. Nobody really alive here. Everybody currently running back. And we might not even see this guy die. I think that might be it. SturmTigerFrost, yep, throws in the towel, knowing that there's really not much he can do. Some additional infantry died on the retreat, but that is all she wrote. So the OKW looking pretty strong. But yeah, being able to get that King Tiger. And, well, we'll see how it progresses. We'll see if changes happen or if it is how it's going to be. So anyways, guys, I do hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.